you all for being here at this sad time, but also at a time of many memories. I didn't realize till I got here this morning just how many memories there are in this place for me and for my family with Mildred. In fact, I was just remembering with a couple of the elder members here with myself of starting here down at the old building and with Father McVickers and all the different priests of this parish that Ma went through with, and it didn't really matter whether she got along with them or didn't get along with them. She was here worshiping and working, always sitting on, I don't quite know why, this side of the church, but the second or third pew. I think the first pew for her was like she was putting herself up front too much. But she wasn't going to sit in the back. There was never a question of that. So I thank you for being here and all the memories of Ma, particularly the memories of this parish and even this church building. So thank you.
I'm Chris Mill's daughter, and she, loved this parish. She loved her town in Sandy Point. There's some people worked in Waldo County, and she always did want to be involved. In her final years, as she failed, people still involved her. Still let her cook for the suppers, and she did cards for the shut-ins. And what I want to thank you for is your understanding in an age of rapacious greed and double down the bucks. You showed a true understanding of what human dignity is. You promoted that, and I thank you so much. You withheld her dignity, and Father didn't make it in time. I've been told that she's going to do fine, but late on Saturday, I was told she had to go to a nursing home. And I can see someone sweetly telling, honey, you're going to love it there. And so that night, she went home. I wanted to, I asked my family to find some New England verses. She loved Robert Frost, she loved Tennyson. But my daughter, who was here just 3.5 weeks ago, brought her little 2-month-old son to meet his great-grandmother, the 4th great-grandchild. And she wrote, because she couldn't come back, she wrote a little eulogy. I could not read it, you'll see why. So I asked her brother, my son, to read it. So thank you all so much.
For the past 10 years, I've gone up to visit Grammy 3 or 4 times a year, and over the time we settled into a pretty regular routine. We would make a list of things to get done during my visit, and cross them off as we finished each one. Clean out the fridge? Check. Audiobooks? Check. Cut kindling? Check. One of my favorites was going through the card catalogs to pick out birthday cards, Christmas cards, or friendship cards. In the evening, we would sit down in the living room, and I would look through the catalog and find cards I thought Granny would like. Dog cards for Cynthia, cat cards for McGee, a funny card for Jackie, religious cards for the shut-ins. She would let me pick out any cards. She wouldn't let me pick out any cards for my mom because she thought I would tell Mom and ruin the surprise. It would go something like this. Here's a cute one, Grammy. There's a pig taking a bubble bath in an old-fashioned clawfoot tub, scrubbing his back in it with a brush, and on the inside it says, this little piggy says, how old are you? Hogwash, happy birthday. And Grammy would say, oh, that's cute, and isn't it off color? Don't you think Connie might like that? So I thought I'd take this last opportunity to pick out a few cards for you, Grammy. This one shows a little old lady with her red wool winter coat and knitted beret, taking dozens of audiobooks to the library as a donation. The inside reads, even when you needed it, you never forgot those who needed more. Thank you. And this one shows the same little old silver-haired lady now in her kitchen with orange paper balls, baking up strawberry, blueberry, and rhubarb pies. The inside reads, "One of the things that made you so special was that you always remembered those small details that made us feel special, like having our favorite pie ready on every visit." The next one shows the little old lady seated in her green velvet chair with a tearful smile on her face and an infant boy on her lap. The baby's new pudgy fingers are wrapped around her frail, wrinkled index finger. The inside says, "Holding a great-grandchild makes getting old worthwhile." And someone's handwritten, "I'm so grateful that you waited just long enough to hold your newest, my son." The last one shows a handsome elderly gentleman standing on a cloud. He's got a pretty big nose and pretty big ears. His pocket watch reads 22 years and counting. He's holding out his arms to catch the same little old lady who was running toward him with strong legs and perfect vision. The inside reads, "It took you long enough, Mildred." Welcome home. Enjoy your new home, Grammy. Homes.
My name is Nate Miscall. I'm Peter's son, and Grammy was my grandmother. I really got a chance to know her a lot better in my later years. I really found a lot more in common with her, and was able to spend a lot of summers here. And one thing that we did is, when I first met my wife, we took a trip to Portland, Maine, because her cousin was getting married. And so I said, and I was meeting her parents, and I said, well, why don't we take a trip up and meet my grandmother? And so we did that, and we stayed at the Alamo Inn. And when we got married, which was just a year later, we decided to do our honeymoon there. And she had told us that she spent her honeymoon with her grandparents in Brua. So she really enjoyed that. So it was kind of a family tradition, and we've come up every summer since then for the last few years, and spent a week with her, which has been really good. I remember one last thing was sitting in church right up front here, and I got like a bee sting on my leg. And I don't know if it was this church, maybe it was the other church. But anyways, I got this bee sting on my leg. And I sat up straight, and Father was up here and going, "Nathaniel, am I putting you to sleep? I'll have to work better on my sermon." And my grandmother was so upset with me, but it was something that I'll always remember. And so I appreciate everyone who took time to come out and say thank you, because she was a great lady, and really means a lot to have everyone here. So thank you.